discord, may we bring harmony. Where there is error, may we bring truth. Where there is doubt, may we bring faith. And where there is despair, may we bring hope. And it's Great Britain. Marvellous forces, every single one of them. It's just been everyone together. And that's what matters. We knew what we had to do. We knew what we had to do.
The operation is a spectacular success. All but one of the remaining hostages come out alive.
Brilliant operation by the Special Air Services with courage and confidence. And I agree with my honourable friend that the performance both of the police and the SAS made us all, on all sides of the House, proud to be British.
2:54 a.m. on Friday, October the 12th, 1984, the Irish Republican Army tried to assassinate the entire British cabinet. They almost succeeded. A bomb had been placed inside the Grand Hotel in Brighton, where most leading members of the Conservative Party were staying during their annual conference. 4 people died, many more were badly injured. It was the most devastating terrorist attack ever launched against British politics. Mrs. Thatcher had been working in her suite when it happened. Apart from the wrecked bathroom, all the glass and mirrors in the bedroom were smashed. Police said the Prime Minister remained icy cool throughout. The conference began on time. The delegates, reduced in number, stood in silence for 2 minutes to honour the dead. A few hours later, Mrs. Thatcher was back in the hall for her big speech. Security men were everywhere. And Mrs. Thatcher declared her defiance of the bombers.
This government will not weaken. This nation will meet that challenge. Democracy will prevail.
Because more bombs were feared, Mrs. Thatcher and her husband were then escorted out of Brighton. They'd had a remarkable escape. A bathroom, which the Prime Minister had been in just 2 minutes before the blast, was completely wrecked as the 20-pound bomb sliced 4 floors out of the centre of the building. In other parts of the hotel, bedrooms used by government ministers and Conservative Party officials were showered with masonry. Hours later, the IRA issued a grim warning. Today, we were unlucky, but remember, you only have to be lucky once.
Too soon. We must recognize that we shall face a Soviet political offensive designed to sow differences among us, calculated to create infirmity of purpose, to impair resolve, and even to arouse fear in the hearts of our people. Hope is such a precious commodity in the world today that some are tempted to buy it at too high a price. We shall have to resist the muddled arguments of those who have been induced to believe that Russia's intentions are benign and that ours are suspect, or who would have us simply give up our defenses in the hope that where we led, others would follow. As we learned cruelly in the 1930s, from good intentions can come tragic results. Let us be under no illusions. It is our strength and not their goodwill that has brought the Soviet Union to the negotiating table in Geneva.
There is no doubt that the Prime Minister has in many ways achieved substantial success for the economy. There is one statistic that I understand is not, however, challengeable, and that is that over her 11 years, the gap between the richest 10% and the poorest 10% in this country has widened substantially. How can she say at the end of her chapter of British politics that she can justify many people in a constituency such as mine being relatively much poorer off, much less well housed, and much less well provided than it was in 1979? Surely she accepts that is not a record that she or any Prime Minister can be proud of.
Mr. Speaker, all levels of income are better off than they were in 1979. But what the honourable member is saying
is that he would rather the poor were poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That way you will never create the wealth for better social services as we have. And what a policy! Yes, he would rather have the poor poorer, provided the rich were less rich. That is the Liberal policy. Yes, it came out, he didn't intend it to, but he did.
In what you said.
Now,
first, countries are not rich in proportion to their natural resources. If they were, Russia would now be the richest country in the world. Angola would be very rich, and there are many other countries that have a lot of natural resources, but they have not had an enterprise economy to develop those resources. Russia has everything: oil, gas, diamonds, platinum, gold, silver, timber, marvelous soil. The free enterprise countries that believed in liberty under a rule of law with free enterprise and a market economy that are responsible. They have created the wealth. It is the countries that have had the wrong system, which have not created the wealth, have not cared about people, and that is why Mr. Gorbachev left that system and came to a system which will create the wealth. It will create the wealth in Angola, it will create the wealth in Tanganyika, but not if you deny the people the enterprise to tap it and get it. Look at the other side. Japan, no natural resources. Switzerland, no natural resources. Taiwan, no natural resources. Hong Kong, no natural resources. The same Chinese people as in China. It is the political system which enhances the enterprise of the people and gives it a framework within which to operate, which will deal with this poverty, and should, and the sooner the better.